Peace and harmony, everyone. Today is Friday, May the 16th. My goodness, I'm so glad to be at the end of this week. Yesterday was a day. It was a day. But I am grateful to have been able to tap into my tools and my resources to kind of get me back on track. And today I am feeling much, much better. I am feeling empowered and energized and relaxed and all that good stuff, right? I am not going to be before you long. I know everybody say that, but then once you get to talking, and I'm that way, and I start going. But my plan and my goal, my intent is to not be before you long. I just wanted to share a part of my journey of my fasting experience, right? So I fast yearly as the Day of Atonement approaches. That is the day that I fast for 24 hours, no food, no drink. Um, and doing it doing it yearly, I look forward to it. It's it's something that it's hard to put it into words. I'm gonna try my best to explain it. Um Basically doing it because you know that it's what you're supposed to be doing, according to whatever your belief system is. So you're it does become routine, right? That may not be the intent behind it, but sometimes when you do things as a part of a faith collective, you fall into a routine and you may end up, I'm gonna be real honest, some people may not want to be honest about it. You tend to not appreciate it or value it as much as you possibly did in the beginning. It does become routinish, and you're doing it because you know that this is what is supposed to be done at this particular time of the year, right? So I've done other fasting attempts throughout the years, and I have to say that they were not successful. I don't know if it was just the timing in my life or really not being ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I don't know what it is, but I've made attempts and I've done it, and I didn't really feel what I thought I was supposed to feel afterwards. But this particular time, I embarked on a 7-day liquid fast with a group of amazing women, right? And I know me. I was like, woo, I don't know if I could do a whole 7 days of just liquids because I've never attempted that before in my life. And this is still the mindset of like, ooh, I want food, right? So but I was honest with the group and even honest with myself, like, listen, hey, I don't know if I can do it. The most that I've ever really done was about 2 or 3 days. I did the master cleanse a few years ago, and the goal then was to do it for 7 days. But I think I hit about 2, 3 days, and I was like, yeah, I need I need a salad, okay? So I said, all right, I'm willing to try it. And it just so happens that I was ready for it mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was ready for it. I was prepared for it. So when the call was put out, if you would like to participate, I say, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I actually forgot that it was approaching, because we ended up doing it the end of April going into May. So that last week of April, we started, I believe, the 26th, and then we went that final week of April into May. And I have to say, it was not what I expected it to be. And you know what? I don't really think I had any expectations. I was just so ready for it, and to kind of just see what would happen, what benefits would I really get from it. I didn't have any expectations or like this is what I want to get from it. No, it was just like, okay, I know it was just something saying to me, I believe it was the creator just saying to me, do it. You need to do this. Right? You just really need to do it. And I probably was thinking more physically than anything, because as you if you've seen my other videos, the journey that I'm going through, or that I'm on at this point, health, but everything aligns, mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, soul. It all aligns. Like everything has to align in order for things to flow well. So I probably was thinking more physically, like, I'm trying to get this diabetes reversed. That was where I was. I need a reset with that. Clean out my body and let's start this again. So I've already announced one of the benefits that occurred in the last video that I did, of my A1C dropping. Right. So I'm just gonna jump into a few of the things that I gained, or the benefits that I gained from this fast. And again, it was very unintentional, but intentional, because although I wasn't in control of it, the creator was in control of it. So at the end of the day, it was intentional, right? So the first was, or that I'm going to talk about, mental benefits. Increased mental clarity. Things that I may have prayed about or had questions on or answered was being revealed to me. Sometimes it could just be conversation with someone. It could be something you're watching. And like on YouTube, right? You watch a video and then it gives you a whole bunch of recommendations on similar topics, right? Or sometimes, again, just you could be thinking about something and a recommended video will pop up on your For You page, and you're like, what? I know, I'll be like, okay, I see you, Most High. So my thoughts were sharper, or are sharper now, more focused, and I truly believe I'm more spiritually aligned. Another benefit was emotional regulation. I responded instead of reacting. And for me, I am still working on reacting, right? I'm working on not doing that as much. And I noticed that after doing that fast, or even during the fast, I had a sense of calm like no other. I'm not going to say it was like that every day. However, I was able to be aware of the moments where I was a little bit irritable, because, I wanted, at some point I was like, yo, I want some food, right? But I didn't like really snap on anybody. I kind of just gave everybody a warning around me, my family, like, listen, hey, I'm a little hungry. So don't take my irritability personal. I'm not coming at you. Just know your girl is hungry. And then I would just drink more water. I'm gonna talk about the physical experience that I had as well. Cause it sounds all cool and nice now, but we got some stuff. And it's heightened my intuition, uh my inner voice. I heard it more clearly, my conscience of, and wisdom became more clearer to me again. Questions or prayers that I have prayed and asked for in the past, some things I was able to receive the answer, or just allow for me to go deeper into some things. And I wasn't like that before. And I mean, this fast is just a vessel, it's just a tool. There's just been other things happening where I'm hearing the creator more, when you really start to make positive choices for your life and work on things that you need to work on, because wellness is trending now. And, everyone's talking about healing and, traumas and things that they've experienced. We've all experienced some sort of trauma, directly, indirectly. We've all experienced it, even if you may not have had anything uh, personally happen to you, but you still receive trauma. What's the word? Trauma, like secondhand trauma, by watching the news, things that goes on in the community, a friend or a family member that may have experienced it, you take that on, so again, there's indirect and personal trauma, and then second hand, I don't even know if that's a real term, but I'm using it today. And when spirit leads me, when the creator is calling me and giving me wisdom, I listen. There's been plenty of times when not listening has led me into some really, really tough situations that, I mean, I've gotten out of clearly. However, some of it was not worth the lesson if I would have just listened in the beginning. But hey, I'm here to tell it. So I'm grateful on that. Number 4, freedom from mental crutches. I release patterns of distraction and avoidance. It is so easy to get distracted by anything. It could just be, of course, scrolling on social media, or not even on social media. Sometimes you want to look up something, like you do a little Google research or whatever, and then you just start going, and time has passed, and you're like, oh my goodness. Or what we take in online, and when I say online, like watching the news, or yeah, everybody has a story going on. We allow those things to get distracted. Even with dealing with family and friends, you can allow what other people are experiencing be a distraction. But during this fast, and I notice now that I'm able to create, space for things and for people, but also create boundaries as well, so things are not an overload or a distraction to me. Number 5, discipline and mental strength. Each day, I'm growing in focus, self-control, and personal power. So here is where I kind of tap into the physical aspect of it as well. So for the first day, I was like, oh, okay, wow. I was so proud of myself. I was like, wow, I really went 24 hours with just drinking water. So I forgot to mention this part in the beginning. So with the 7 days, the first 3 days were, we agreed to just do water. And then the remaining 4 days would be, water, broth, soups, broths, and juicing and smoothies, right? So that was what it consisted of. And so, like I said, with the first day, I was really, really proud of myself, because I was like, okay, that was cool. I did that. And then the second day, I was like, oh wow, okay, I'm really doing this. I'm really doing this. I wasn't thinking about food at that point. I mean, I thought about it, but not like, oh my gosh, I want to eat. Oh my goodness, I want to eat. I wasn't thinking like that. The third day, I felt such a strength and power that I did not know that I had. Eating, I'm sorry, look, no, I didn't eat. Drinking water for 3 days, I felt like, wow, I really did this. It was mental strength, just telling myself, I need to do this. This was important. It's to clean out my body. It's to just get me where I need to be. I was like, I can't believe it. I felt so strong. And I just knew I was going to be able to. I was like, what? I did the 3 days of water. I'm good on the remaining 4. I can do this. My children were super supportive. They couldn't believe it. They were so surprised that I did it. But I did it. So it's like I feel like now doing that, I'm sure there's other people that have, they do fasting, and there's 90 days of this and this, that. It's so many things that people are doing, and put this work for me. This is for me, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that's very similar to me in this aspect. And I am very proud of myself for those 3 days of just water. That is something I've never done in my life. And I'm just proud. I'm proud. Number 6, spiritual insight, and this is still all under the mental benefits. Spiritual insight, I received divine clarity and guidance. So again, I just knew and I felt the creator's spirit with me the whole time, allowing for me to see the power that I have within myself. Hearing it and knowing it and feeling it are so different. I know how dope I am. I know that. But sometimes we forget, and we think we know, we really don't know. But I felt it, and it felt amazing. It was like, girl, you got this. But it was all because of my alignment with the creator, being able to hear the creator and allow for that spirit to guide me. And let's see. Number 7, reduce brain fog. I don't know if I'm going through perimenopause yet. I probably am. And you just get to that point in this life. I'm 43. And sometimes, you just don't remember everything. You walked into a room to get something, you totally forgot why you walked into the room. Like, what am I here for? Let me go back, retrace the steps, and see what it is. And then sometimes I remember, and sometimes I still just be like, all right, forget it. It'll come back to me. Brain fog, I would actually say I did experience it during the fast, but that was just my body's way of letting me know that I was dehydrated and I needed to drink more. You think you're drinking a lot, but sometimes, especially with the fast, because you're not eating, you have to double up. I'm already a water drinker, but I learned that I had to beef it up a little bit more. So my brain fog, I would say, it hasn't, diminished or gone away completely, but I don't find myself experiencing it as much as I was. And I just feel lighter mentally. Although, listen, I have things that are going on just like the next person. There's always something happening. There's always something to take care of or to do. But I'm able to do it and not feel heavy or burdened by it. Right? There's always going to be something going on in life, but we have to be able to deal with it and go through it without it taking us completely out, or wiping us out mentally. So emotional benefits. Release of some things that I was holding on to. The body keeps score. We've heard that, the book, and it's true. When we going through things, or those stressors, those burdens, whatever it is, working, paying bills, taking care of family, doing things in the community, like, it's just what we do, who we are. However, we can hold things that happened to us years ago, maybe even weeks ago. You think you let it go, but it's trapped. It's trapped, and it holds you back. And sometimes you forget, we suppress. But with this fast, I was able to release some things emotionally. Um, as the feelings came, I sat in the feelings, and I did the breath work, the journaling, um, the meditating, yoga, body stretching to release it. I'm still in the process of releasing things. Everything is not going to release at once, so just keep that in mind. And I'm grateful for what I was able to let go, and I'm just looking forward to releasing more as I continue on in life. Clarity and relationships. Really seeing and understanding who's there for me, who are my friends. Even understanding relationship with family members. Sometimes you have to make a decision on whether or not people are good for you, and that's anybody, family, friend, coworker, whatever. You have to make a decision on whether or not a person or people are of your best interest. And it's it's just what has to be done for your sanity and for your peace of mind and for the longevity and calmness of your life. Self-awareness, that has been something that has been really big for me prior to the fast. Just being in therapy, that became something that I noticed about myself. The awareness of knowing when I may be wrong, or when I need to adjust my attitude or my way of thinking. I've become more self-aware, like I said, prior to the fast, but the fast has actually also helped that as well. I'm always willing to observe myself, my compassion and empathy and kindness towards others, thinking more about gratitude. I talk about gratitude a lot, but sometimes I'm not as grateful that I thought I was. I noticed that it's something I still need to work on, because you easily forget. Things can be going so good, or things can be terribly wrong. But we still have to find some level of gratitude. Just being able to breathe, just being able to move my hands and my fingers and my limbs. Those things we take for granted, but it can be taken away within a blink of an eye. So I know for me, I can improve my attitude of gratitude. Emotional I can't even say the word resilience. Emotional resilience. I hold space for my emotions without being consumed by them. So as I said, during the emotional release of things did come up during the fast of past experiences and things that I didn't even realize I was still holding on to, but my body was holding on to it. And the resilience that I have, I admire about myself, and not running away from those feelings when they came up, just, pushing through, not letting it consume me, but accepting it and being able to release it. It is not easy, and I hope that I'm not trying to make it sound easy, because it is not, until you are in that moment. And everyone's experience is different, and going through those emotional releases are not easy, but they are worth it. Peace with stillness. I embrace rest, ease, and quiet as sacred. My rest is very sacred to me. My resting space is very sacred to me. If I feel like I need to rest, I take the rest. If I'm in a position, if I'm home and I feel like, okay, I need a break, I need to rest, I'm gonna take that rest. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. In the past, I used to feel bad about it, feeling like, oh my goodness, I just wasted an hour of a nap. I could have been working on this. I could have been cleaning that. I could be doing. No, no, because who am I burning myself out for? Why? I do pray that I have, more time, but when you need to rest, that's why it is called rest. Your body lets you know when you may need to rest, and it is okay to do so, and then you continue on with whatever it is that needs to be done. I saw a YouTube video, and I think I mentioned this before, and I forgot the young lady's name. However, um, she, I had to stop for a minute, and of course, losing your train of thought, brain fog, right? So I know that I was moving on to number 6, empowerment. I honor my commitment to myself and rise in confidence. Empowering myself is super important, because there was a time when I didn't. I lost myself. I was completely not me, unrecognizable to myself in a lot of ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just, damaged in a lot of ways. And to be at this space and feeling that doing this fast was the right thing for me at the right time. Timing is everything. And I'm gonna say it again. I truly believe that this was the creator saying to me, this is time. You need this. It is time for you to really detox. And this is, just the beginning. It's not this is not the thing that just fixed, this one time didn't fix everything that needs to be fixed or corrected or improved upon. No, it was just the beginning and the stepping stone, like to me, to say to me, like, wow, this is great, and we're gonna continue to do this, because it is needed for you right now. And number 7, under the emotional benefits, is past healing. Kind of spoke about that a little bit with the emotional release. I am no longer avoiding. I am integrating and transforming. So that's what my channel is all about. It's just me sharing my journey of my personal transformation. And some people like, why? Why do you care to share. Because there's somebody out there that's just like me, that's taking it slow, not looking for the sprint, but you know, we doing this marathon. We gonna take our time. There's no quick fix to transform it, and there's gonna be some hiccups and bumps along the way. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And going through the process of healing and learning to love yourself and discover things about yourself, it's an amazing journey and process. Again, it's not easy. It is hard, but I am grateful to be able to do it, uh, to bring some, peace and restoration to my life, and to be a light to myself and to others, because we all need it. It's so much happening. It is so much going on in the world that we forget how beautiful the world can be. Everything is just so negative now. Everything is so negative. And there's a whole nother world out there where life is not so bad. Yes, again, we're gonna have our ups and our downs. That is a part of it. But we have to put the beauty back into the world. And that starts with how we see ourselves, how we love ourselves, how we treat ourselves. Because when you feeling good and you loving yourself, you put that out into the world. And then the next person does it, and the next person does it. And it doesn't take away from, there's always gonna be something happening, something crazy, negative, disturbance. That's just because that's the type of people we have. We have crazy evil people in the world, and then you have people that just want to be loved and show love and be compassionate. And yes, so I digress on that. Spiritual benefits: discipline, devotion. So getting up and understanding that my discipline is an act of self-love. Discipline is something I struggled with for so long, which is why a lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish, I haven't. I've accomplished some of the things, but not all of the things that I wanted to. But I'm getting there. And it's because I lack discipline. I start something like, forget it. But when you really want something, and it feels good when you accomplish it. So with discipline, for me, it's an act of self-love. It's me committing to myself. So with me committed to myself, I'm able to then create all the things that I need to create, or that's for me to create, right? I tend to, I guess, it's easier to commit or to do things for others and not keep that same energy for ourselves. So for me, prior to this fast, that's why I said, things align, and that although I agreed to do this, the Most High put me in a position to be receptive to doing this, because I had already been working on my discipline prior to this fast. It is something that I've been having conversations with myself every day about, being disciplined and staying committed to myself. Cycle breaking. This is number 2 under spiritual benefits. I am breaking generational and personal patterns of lack and misalignment. You you think that, or I keep saying you, but when I say you, I'm really talking to me. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself. I didn't realize that I had the responsibility of being disruptor or being a cycle breaker until recently. I never set out for that. I never said, oh, I'm going to be the one in my family to change the trajectory of our family's legacy. I never thought of that. I just always knew that the creator, the Most High, has been with me from a very young age. And I've always had these ideas of things that I wanted to do. I never looked at it as, oh, I'm doing things different. This was just who he called me to be, to do great things. And I'm grateful for it. I'm so grateful. But to now have the understanding that I'm breaking cycles, it is an honor. It is a blessing to be able to still have my mom where we can have conversations about her upbringing and her experiences, and with mine, the way that I was raised, to then be able to kind of fuse what I've been taught, how I was raised, with who I am as a person now and teaching my children. So I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to show my mom, like, that may have not been the best thing to do. But you didn't, it was the times you didn't know. I'm not even gonna say no better. It was just what it was, you know? And to be able to create new traditions and new ways of doing things, and for her to be able to see it and experience, I love it. I love it. We don't have to bring in all of the baggage and the, you know, trauma. Everything is trauma. And I say that like, I don't like to use that word so loosely, but with everything that was passed down to us historically, to be able to understand that, honor it, and do things differently is a blessing. And I really appreciate being a part of the disruptors and the cycle breakers, because it's just going to keep getting better. The next generation, they will have the tools that we're just getting in this generation, and our job is to pass on these tools to them so that they're better equipped with understanding how to deal with things, have emotional intelligence, spiritual alignment, be able to maintain their mental health, and it be okay. Nothing being wrong with it. Number 3, sacred listening. Again, going back to being able to hear the Creator more clearly, and to be able to receive answers to questions and prayers that I've had, and just knowing that things may not happen right in the moment that you requested, but it will happen when it's supposed to. Spiritual sisterhood. I am the women that I embarked on this fast with. I knew one. Well, actually, I knew one personally for years. And the other women I had just met and became acquainted with them, I want to say, just in a few months, maybe a month or two prior. And when the organizer, Tish, hey Tish, when she asked, put it out there that she fast on a regular, and this is what she does. I was like, oh yeah, let me know, about the information. And so just being able to have these women who are on this journey, um, to have someone that is like a nutritionalist and an herbalist, a part of it, has been amazing. They are super supportive, great energy, a wealth of information in regards to, uh, you know, eating right and healing yourself in regards to what you eat, gut health and all those things, right? So it's been amazing, and to the softness of it, of the energy that they all bring, and we're going through this, but you still feel feminine, you still feel soft, and you still feel you hungry, but you still you still you still got that softness to you. Energetic cleansing, making room for the new. I am making room for the new, releasing, being open, first being rooted, and being grounded, and then being open to something new, whatever it may be. uh Meeting new people, new love, all those things, just being open and receptive to it, leading into the strength of it, having that mental strength to continue on when it fast, when your stomach rumbling and growling, and still making meals for my family, but I'm not eating. That's a true test, and to discipline, and to be able to have the mental stamina to not do it, right? So now the last little area. Oh, well, there was one more I did write down. Elevated identity. I am becoming who I was always meant to be. Heal, whole and holy. Heal, whole and holy. It's been a wonderful experience. It's been a wonderful experience. And again, I've been doing the work prior to the fast. The fast just elevated everything else. It just really confirmed that I'm on the right path, and to keep doing what I'm doing. Uh, just keep working on myself and enjoying the process. Being healed, being whole, and being holy in the sense of being mindful of who I am as a person, being mindful of what I eat, being mindful of what I drink, you know, treating this body that was given to me by the creator, being grateful for it and treating it the way that it's supposed to be treated. Not just eating any and everything that is, that was killing me. And that's not self-love, that's not discipline, and that is far from being holy. So, elevated identity. I am becoming who I was always meant to be, and it is amazing. And everybody's experience is going to be different as you are on your own journey, and knowing who, or feeling like you knew who you was always meant to be, but just distractions, blockage, avoidance. And once you start to shift things around, who you were meant to be would start shining through. Physical benefits. Oh, so the great thing, I lost 5 pounds during the fast. I felt a lot stronger. I had a lot more energy. I tell you, the first 3 days I was rocking it out. I was a rock star. Day 4, I was like, okay, cool. I did my juicing and my smoothies. I was good. By day 5, I'm not even gonna lie to you. All right. I said, oh, I gotta eat something. So I did not go the full 7 days. Do I feel bad about it? Absolutely not. I do not. I let the women know, listen, I'm bowing out gracefully. This has been awesome. And I truly believe by day 5, what I was supposed to get from doing the fast, I had already gotten. I received it. The information, the messages, the lessons that the creator wanted for me to gain had been downloaded. So my body was now saying, you're good. You're good. So I didn't go crazy and jump into eating a whole bunch of stuff. I ate a salad. I ate a salad and still continue to, drink my water, and I think I did like tomato soup the day 6. So once I broke it, that was it. I didn't like, go back. But I just continued to eat clean the remaining days while the other women um continued on, and everybody had their struggle here and there, a little struggle, but we just kept encouraging each other. And like I said, because I didn't finish the 7 days, I don't feel bad about it. I feel very accomplished. It's something that I've never done in my life, so I am very proud of myself. And being able, that awareness and being in tune and listening to my body, knowing when to listen to your body. I had the desire to, I move, I stretch and whatnot daily, but there there was a time when I was just like, oh, I wanted to, I walked a lot during that time, and I do daily walks, but I walked a lot during that fast. What else did I do? I use my weights a lot. And I feel like my skin is clearer as well. I'm happy about that. And I do use like cleansing and everything by Earth and Eden. Shout y'all out. But I just feel like I have a natural glow. And my skin is softer. My hands, I don't have rough hands. I don't do much with my hands for it to feel rough. But overall, like the nutrients, I guess, just the water, it's just like a plant, and I will never forget this. I had this plant that I was neglecting. And it was, you saw how the leaves were just like, right? And I remember watering it. And after a little while, how the leaves just kind of lifted back up. I thought that was so amazing. And I fall off sometimes, but I think back to that as a reminder of how I'm supposed to nourish my body, right? Because when you're dehydrated and your body lacks moisture, your skin is dry and scaly and flaky, and you're fatigued and tired, and you're like the leaves. You're like, eh. But when you nourish your body, when you drink water, your skin is softer, it's not dry, it's that natural moisture, natural glow. So we have to do what we have to do to take care of ourselves, right? So that is my take or my experience with a liquid fast that I did. I'm looking forward to doing another one. We have discussed doing another fast, probably maybe the end of the month. And I learned that it is so beneficial and so helpful to fast on a regular basis, like monthly or quarterly, or I was gonna say seasonally. Seasonally is good too, but think for me, if not doing it monthly, quarterly will be the longest that I would go without fasting, because in 3 months you can eat a lot of things, right? And your body needs to be cleared of that. Detoxification is super important. It's super important. I think I have said everything that I needed to say or wanted to say and wanted to share with everyone. Um, Again, this is just me. It's sharing my journey as I transform, my life. And I know that there's somebody out there that's on this similar journey, and you may get overwhelmed from all the things that are thrown at us on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, did this, did everybody's an expert. I'm not an expert. I am doing this as I go. The Most High puts in my path what I need, and I follow that guidance, that spirit, and it has not let me astray. It has led me to a place of calm and peace and determination and willingness to share and help others and guide others. So I am grateful. Thank you to all the people that are super supportive um, in my life. I appreciate you guys so much. And we are going to keep doing the darn thing. I am wishing everyone a great day, weekend, week, month, year. I will see you guys again soon. Peace and harmony. And I'm going to keep that in too. I don't care.